again, I'm gonna show you the whole thing. Listen, if all I taught was Christian is how not to touch somebody, then I did wonders for her life. Because
No,
I just went like that.
She was like,
No, I tell the students, so like, I pay them through the respite, like,
Right,
to
right,
come, and
right.
when that runs out, I'll pay them out of pocket, because I need their
Right.
help. But to me, it's like, I want them to see, I think I want them to work with Gideon in a way that, makes sense, but I also want them to experience, like, the choices that people make and the care that people, and that they're are open. Like, it's shocking to me every time I'm on Facebook and then ask one of his therapists, do you know about SPML? Do you know about ABM? They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a conversation, there should be separate conversations between the people who are with the kids and the therapists, like,
Right.
you guys need to know what,
But most of them are like,
right, I told you. they
that
tell you about
person's
the other
not
woman.
licensed, that person is not whatever, like Newso really hasn't presented papers, so therefore, my whole thing is, like Austin's going for SPML, and she's
Is he?
like, should I be doing the hips or this? I said, well, does Ing do hips? She goes, yes. I said, well, if the same guy can make money doing hips as SPML, and he's saying, I think I can do this, it's less invasive, and I can save the hips, I'll go with it, you know what I mean? Now, if he only did SPMLs, and he's trying to take money away from the hip guy, then you could be leery. But if it's in his repertoire, then go with his experience. And and I've yet to hear anybody say, that was the worst thing I ever considered. I've never heard anybody say, quote, a bad thing, except for Newso could be abrupt, but I'm sorry if he's not warm and fuzzy. He did a good job.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's not always about bedside manner.
So the one thing that she likes to do is more of a yoga pose. We call this the kill me pose. Because
You mean because I feel that way today?
no, when you're like this, if a lion were to attack you, you would have to change your hands. You would have to do a movement first before you could do a movement.
Okay.
So when someone's lying there down, like a yoga pose, they would have to present their hands. So that was like a joke in
Sure.
school. But
Okay.
that's a kill me pose because you're like, I'm out to slaughter. But different modality.
I use
But again,
this
just like Bentley
because
does.
my wrist hurt all the time. So rather than
Okay.
come here.
But see, when you do that, you notice how much your elbows go out. See how much the elbows have to go out? So this could be back to your hair cutting days, whatever. Go with where you're comfortable. This is a prime example where I don't treat him or correct his hands. But I want you first to show if I just went like that.
Yeah.
See, you're just, now it's a stable object and whatever. But again, see where your eyes go? Your eyes don't even know
I'm
where to look.
confused, yeah.
Yeah, they don't even know where to
Yeah.
look. So I'm going to be working with your vision a little bit, but I'm going to be working with your hands too because you need help with your hands. So what I'm doing here is I'm right behind the shoulder. At the same time, I'm working basically between the ulna and the radius. But what I'm looking for here is the hands, the fingers to actually start to respond and rotate. So right now, if you notice, there's still a little startle going on in the fingers. But again, if they're startled, this is how slow I have to go. No different than Bentley. See if I went like this? Yeah, yes.
Nothing.
But I'm just saying.
I don't understand what it's supposed to do.
Right,
Yeah.
right, you're right. So if I was like, come on, like let's.
Yeah, that's.
So see how I'm rotating the shoulder up. I'm going for the stand, but I'm separating the stand from the hands. Does that make sense? Very subtle stuff. If you were to, honestly, this is where on the videos, if you look at it, you'd be like, okay, what's she doing? My best line is from Enrique. He was a friend of mine that studies with me. He comes in from Madrid, but anyway. He goes, yeah, you have to look at this woman's stuff. He goes, I have. She's doing nothing. He goes, oh yes, but in the nothing there's something. Ah, see, there's your elbow. Feel it? So now I can keep doing that. That elbow is really, so I'm going to come right here. And I'm just going, okay, whatever injury you have, it's over. See how that topples your shoulders? Just that little bit. So I'm going to come here just to stabilize you. But notice what I'm doing, it's just a rotation under the elbows. There's no difference than the rotation here or what I was doing with Bentley right like this. This is what I was doing. But see now how much more responsive now the hands are becoming, okay? So now I'm gonna go back. Now look at the difference, feel the difference.
I feel it all the way down into my legs,
Oh, yeah.
into my feet,
Well,
all the
'cause
way to
you're-
my
you're-
fingers.
When you contract your hands this much, again, this is CP, this is what,
Mhm.
it's just a milder form.
Yep.
But feel the difference of just, see? Your chest wants to come forward, it doesn't even react to the arm. There we go.
Why doesn't everybody learn this?
Honestly, because I'm like one of the few freaks that have started doing videos, this stuff is so closed mouth and so, also very expensive in a lot of ways. And people are just like, oh, I don't have to explain myself. It's sort of like SPML. I don't have to produce papers. I don't have to, that's why I want to write a book. I'm not saying my way or the highway. I've never said this is protocol.
Right.
All I'm trying to
But
do is give
inclusion.
you an option of how to do something. Now, this will be very interesting to you. We're going to be sliding that scapula and that shoulder. Very slowly. Because I have to allow that breath to happen, but also you're not used to doing this. See how much you want to counter through the chest just for the shoulder. There, that's better. See now how I could, that's it. See now I'm sort of pulling down on the arm in a sense, but I'm allowing all of this to happen.
Oh, it feels so much more open just by moving that scapula.
But also, see how the arm can come down, and now the arm can go up. Again, feel the difference.
Oh yeah, I feel
See how
crooked.
the arm can't go up or down. Again, that's synchronizing, all of that stuff I'm kind of talking about. Now, feel. So now I'm going to start bringing you over the hand. So same thing I was doing to them. I'm going to just start sliding. But again, I just want you to see how easy that is. See? And you're falling. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah, I do.
What I'm doing is I'm separating. This is where Bentley's learning how to play. See how you're still standing? But your arms are starting to play. Whereas here,
It's still
and
all
very heavy.
one.
So now, just there you go. Much nicer, huh? That's it. See how much better your balance is getting just off of your forearm. See, now I can start possibly presenting options to the hand. But I'm still not going, put your hands
Right.
here.
It just
Never
is
seen
how
me
it
do
fell
this.
out. That's just how it
But
fell
I can
out.
still, now I'm going to go in and out of it. But this is cooking. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This is
Sure.
putting
Stirring.
stuff in the dishes. This is
Dusting.
This is putting stuff in the dishes. You know what I mean? This is putting stuff in the sink. Okay? This is putting stuff in the sink. You feel the difference?
Oh, yeah.
This is putting stuff in the dishes. Just see how
Yeah.
much more engaged
Oh,
you
the
have
pressure.
to be.
Yeah, the pressure.
Now, I'll balance you out, don't worry, because that'd be too much on you. But now feel the rotation. See, it's like milking a cow now. See, now this is what I was talking about, the acceleration. See how the hand flips? And the hand flips. See, it is synchronizing and I can go much faster. If I did this to this, see what I mean? It's like clunk, clunk, and the vision goes. You see how your eyes start blinking more and all of that?
It'll shake it
Yeah.
out.
Now I'm going to bounce you out, sort of do a quicker version of that. But see, look at how much now your arm responds on the right just by moving the neck versus here. This is crawling. See the difference? Do you want to crawl to this arm or over to here? But this is what I'm starting to work with Bentley. Does that make more sense?
Absolutely.
So now, just there you go, onto the foot. Feel it?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where all of a sudden when the foot can present. Now see where the pelvis stops?
Yeah.
Come right here. That's it. See, feel the difference?
Yeah.
You still haven't got it completely. There, see how you finally find your spine, just like Bentley's been trying to do. Notice, see, that's a force, I don't force. There we go. And that's where he's suddenly bringing his head up more. And then he'll bring it down. And this is where I was here. And starting to twist it. And that's when you finally got. Oh, look, you can look at the picture there, and the arm can be free. Let's see the difference here. If I did this here, see the difference? The arm can't be free.
No, and I feel like I'm gonna fall.
Just equalizing you out. But this is where you see my knee here, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
Let's see now, the difference is starting to reach for an object. See how your arm can drop down to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's much lighter now. So
Mm-hmm.
now feel, see?
It feels almost effortless.
Right. That's what it should feel like to move. So now, if I went like this, see, this is swimming.
Right.
Now, I don't have a pool. You might not swim for the rest of your life, but I
You
still
do
can
these
work.
motions.
Yeah. So that's where it crosses, I feel, into his life.
Absolutely.
Because if you feel better, then he's got to feel better.
That's incredible.
So,
I just feel really grateful to have been introduced to just a new way of approaching Bentley. And like you say, listening and responding to his body.
if the system's safe, then you can learn.
Right.
But if the system's like,
In freak out.
Bruceability,
Yeah, in
you
freak
know what I
out
mean?
mode.
I'm
And
like,
it's not
I want to
something that
snake
we're
my
just
neck.
gonna break. We're just gonna get him out of that.
They have goals. They come in, okay, I have to have an 80% presentation of blah, blah, blah. You know, he will stand 80% of the time presenting his right arm to touching the ball.
They all feel very unsuccessful then.
So does
But you have
Bentley.
to have those goals in order to
I
get
know.
the
To keep getting the service.
IFSP.
Mhm.
But that's why I dropped all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
You didn't drop it when Graham was young, or when he was under 3?
yeah, well, I
That's
started ABM when he was 2.5. So I want to say by the time of 4, we were done with all therapies. I mean, they would come in and they go, okay, now my son doesn't eat. Okay, I'm gonna get him with Cheerios. He's gonna put his hands behind his back and kind of like a bob for apples, so he's gonna be working with, are you kidding me? One speech pathologist wanted to put pennies on a tongue depressor.
What?
To make him kind of like lift weights. And I'm like, my kid aspirates and has a gag reflux
Yeah,
otherwise.
get over that. Yeah.